Let's continue module 2, TON interfaces or TON interface in Sandbox, and talking about some pitfalls and also comparison between layer 3 tunnel like OpenVPN and WireGuard with layer 4 tunnel like what we have in modern proxy and specifically Sandbox. So I have the server HY2 server as usual, and I have the file, the TON interface layer 3 versus layer 4. So we have the TON interface auto route and strict router enabled, so it's a full tunnel. HY2 has been configured to be connected as the first outbound, so let's run that, and the very first one you can see and probably identify here that this configuration doesn't work. So Sandbox version 1.12.8 we are running, and the TON interface L4 layer 3. Let's run the server, and then having the also full tunnel interface layer 3 layer 4 comparison, and then it's going to connect. If I check the 28, this is the server IP, but if I dig 1.com, it doesn't work. And the reason is simple. By far you should know that if we do not enable DNS hijacking, when we enable a full tunnel, it doesn't work. You can see it says errors, gives me errors, timeout for the host, and this is the etc resolve my DNS server, which is the gateway on the router that I have, which is working, but Sandbox is not able to identify the DNS request and hijack it. This is the first thing that we should know. If we have a full tunnel, it should be DNS hijacking enabled on the route module. So let's do that. To one we need, we can say protocol hijacking and the action hijacking protocol DNS enable sniffing, or directly we can have port 53. You just enable a more best practice way. So action is sniff, and this one the protocol DNS, and action is hijack DNS. DNS, it's okay. So run it again one more time. Before that, making sure it's working. 192, 192, 168, 21, 1.com, for example. It's okay. So running ticket this time, dig is going to work. Another pitfall again, if I close the server, still working. Why? Because it's going to be resolved on my host name. I don't have any DNS server configured on this configuration, nor do I have I sent the DNS query over the proxy, so it is going to be resolved on my machine. There is no need to have the server running. So that's the very first one, and for people working with Sandbox, this is obvious. So let's talk about more somehow non-obvious expectation or non-obvious behavior in Sandbox. If we run the Sandbox again, and if we ping, for example, 111, we see the ping is really loud. But we can see the real thing, like if we use a trace router like MTR, RNC1, we want to trace route that which IPs this request or these requests are passing to those hops. So let's test that. This is nothing. Even we do not run the server, there's no server. It doesn't matter if we run it, still it's the same thing. And it doesn't matter for any IP that we query or we send somehow for trace routing or pinging, it's the same thing. They're on, seems like they're on localhost, really loud ping we have. If we go to Sandbox documentation, it says layer 3 to layer 4 assembler, a little bit confusing what it is. If we go to TON interface in Sandbox, there is no explanation, no even one single line about the Sandbox, the somehow implementation of that. If we go to Wikipedia, it says for example, this is layer 3 is the network layer that we have ICMP in that one, and layer 4 is the transport layer that we have TCP and the UDP. If we go to HY2 project, and if we go to documentation, it makes it much more clear. The TON is a cross-platform transparent proxy solution. Unlike traditional L3 VPN such as WireGuard and OpenVPN, Hysteria-TON mode is handled only UDP and TCP and doesn't support protocol like ICMP, which means ICMP is a layer 3. It doesn't go to the tunnel, which is a layer 4 tunnel. So it also takes control of the TCP. So compared to Hysteria implementation, TON2 is based on SynTON, which is part of the Sandbox project system stack, running 32 subnet and blah blah blah. Will automatically set up the network interface for you. So it says this interface that we see here, this I changed it to TON1 because I want to test OpenVPN as well. So TON1 is a layer 4 interface transparent proxy. It's not able to carry the ICMP protocol that we have. So if we ping anything here, it doesn't go to the tunnel. And that's the thing that we should somehow expect because it's a layer 4 tunnel. Let's stop this and running OpenVPN config, and this is OpenVPN configuration full tunnel. And then let's check the TON we have. It's a TON01, and let's do the same thing. We ping. You see, ping is really higher. And also, if we run MTR, which is trace routing, somehow reaching the destination for once, we can see it goes through the TON has been connected to the server and then going through the internet and finding the Cloudflare IP address. This is a layer 3 tunnel. So if ping any servers or address, it's an actual ping. It's a layer 3 and is able to carry or transfer the ICMP protocol over the tunnel that we have. But Sandbox is not able to do that. It's just a local one. It seems that everything is on local because it doesn't go to the tunnel. So this is a second thing about the TON interfaces and proxies. Now let's go over the documentation for Sandbox to find something really interesting. Android. By default, VPN takes precedence over TON, which means layer 3 has more priority over layer 4 one. And it says on Android you can enable that to override. So let's test that. I want to run Sandbox at the same time and NordVPN at the same time. I mean, both of them at the same time. So we have two interfaces in our machine. So TON1, I first ran the Sandbox, and then second one is the OpenVPN. So what's my IP? It seems it doesn't work. Let's check the Sandbox is working through the SOX proxy that we have. Our real IP so we have a rerun, restarted the OpenVPN. Now everything goes to the OpenVPN connection. So it has more priority or precedence, as the Sandbox documentation said, that even if we run both of them at the same time, if I show the roles, we have Sandbox roles to forward anything to the tunnel. At the same time, IP route show, we have the route for OpenVPN. So everything, half of the whole IP4 range goes to the tunnel, also the other half. So because this is a configuration not to modify the default route. The OpenVPN tries to send everything to the tunnel, and Sandbox tries to send everything to the tunnel as well, both of them. But who wins? The OpenVPN. Even Sandbox hijacks the DNS, still OpenVPN wins, and everything goes to the OpenVPN tunnel. If I close the OpenVPN, then we are back to Sandbox again. So the VPN layer 3 tunnel has more precedence or priority over layer 4 tunnel. This is one thing that we should know. Ping doesn't go to the tunnel, which is a layer 3 network protocol. Ping ICMP doesn't go to the tunnel, TON interface, and Sandbox, which is layer 3 and only carries the UDP and TCP. Also, if we do not enable hijacking on sandbox, the tunnel interface full tunnel doesn't work. We have to enable the DNS hijacking. So that's it for the session. Let's continue our journey on sandbox proxy advanced.